going in the cold opening. How are you, Alex? We'll obviously I'll save it. Don't answer.
Oh yeah, that's good show material. How are you doing? I don't want to spoil that.
Oh, it's done. That's it. It's in.
Yeah, I mean that's why I get guests on, just solely to ask them how they are. The rest of it's fluff, to be honest. I'm thinking of changing the podcast name to "How Are You?" Unwrapped.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, I think so.
Either that or fluffer.
Fluff Unwrapped. It's good. Let's do a podcast.
Dear me.
What?
No, it was good. It was enthusiasm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stuart, why don't you do it?
Let's do a podcast.
Ooh. Yeah. Why so creepy?
That's just my sexy voice, Nathan.
Lucky Gemma. Michael, do you want to give it a go?
I can't even remember what we were saying. Let's do a podcast.
And seeing as not to leave him out, Alex.
I'm doing fine, thank you, Nate. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry. My bad. How dare I?
Fine.
Let's do a podcast.
Hellos and welcome to FRUK Unwrapped, the show that says no to drugs but yes to sugar. My name is Nate Peterson, and today we are talking about things that go well with other things and possibly some things that don't go well with some other things. Riveting stuff. But first, music plus brains plus gravy plus pure animal attraction equals Stuart Bullock.
Oh, that's an equation. That is accurate.
Yeah,
accurate. Yeah,
I did the math. The math. I'm saying it like an American for our guest.
Yeah.
You mixed in parts about what his personality is, along with stereotypes about where he lives.
Which one's the stereotype?
The music thing.
Yeah, I thought so.
They're always singing like that in the north.
Oh, how are you doing, Nathan?
Yeah, how are you? This is the big stuff on the podcast. Get it out of the way first. How are you?
Well, I had a can of energy drink about an hour and a half ago.
What was it?
It was Monster Ultra. It was red.
Oh, lovely.
Not V.
It wasn't that lovely. It was all right. Yeah.
What's the worst? What's the shittiest of the energy drink brands? Like you get the ones that are like not just complete knockoffs, but
I had one.
A lot of petrol stations and whatnot. V.
I had one the other day from.
I've got an Uggo in the fridge.
I had one the other day from Home Bargains. I can't remember what it was called, but it was absolute dog bob. It was terrible. It was unpleasant. Like some energy drinks, you drink it and you go, it's medicinal. I'm drinking it for a reason. I think it's a very weird midlife crisis that I'm having. Do you think anyone else has hit 42 and suddenly got into energy drinks?
Many, lots and lots of us.
I think it happens a lot with recovering alcoholics.
Well, you've sort of campaigned against them on the show, haven't you?
I did, yes. I'm a hypocrite.
Hang on a second. I think Stuart's just called himself a recovering alcoholic, and I know he said he's cut out the drink, but I didn't realise it was quite as bad as that.
No, I'm back on the booze as well now, and the energy drinks.
Not recovering.
Back on everything. Good, what a classic combination that is, beer and Monster.
So when you said recovering alcoholic, rather than like getting better from it, you're recovering your alcoholic.
Back into the alcoholism. Yeah,
cool.
Very much so.
Let's move on. YouTube plus food plus weird plus some more. Plus some really fucking weird shit that belonged. I've fucked that up, haven't I?
It's like me, you're like a bit fucked up.
I'll give that another crack. YouTube plus food plus weird plus some more weird plus some really fucking weird shit that belongs on the dark web. It equals Michael Jamieson.
Yes, it was all true.
Good the second time round.
Yeah, it was good and all very accurate. I liked it very much. Thanks.
Did you say you had? Oh,
Alex
yeah.
has just joined the visual element.
Yeah.
On the webcam.
They're very specific blankets you've got behind you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And you're welcome.
Yeah, Michael, did you say you've got a V in the fridge or an energy drink?
I've got an Uggo.
An Uggo.
Yeah, it's Uggo brand.
Right.
Yeah, it's bubblegum flavour. I plan to review it eventually. It has been in there quite a while now. That it's been in there a few months, but yeah, I'll eventually muster up the courage to have it.
Please. We're all dying to find out. Witty banter plus insightful comments plus American plus Upkosh Ambakar impersonator. Our guest tonight from Binge Media, it's Alyx Ancira.
Gentlemen, how are you? It's good to be back.
It is good to be you back.
Nailed it.
This
is off to a rousing start, by the way.
Yeah, I might be sacked after tonight. This has been an awful start.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I relish the opportunity to get on with my life and not do this podcast anymore.
Same.
Alyx.
Yes, sir.
You've been waiting 10 minutes to tell me. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing pretty fantastic today. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I'm having a beer. Sorry, recovering alcoholic Stuart, but I am having a beer today. And I am also waiting for my midlife crisis where I start dabbling into the energy drink game.
What beer are you having?
I'm having a it's literally says delicious IPA from Stone Brewery.
Wow.
7.7.
What if the name's delicious? What does it like? Give a description or anything? Is it like? Do beers not like describe themselves at all?
Citrusy IPA. That's what it says.
Oh, is it nice?
That's okay. IPA is not really my game, but you know, I figure it's Sunday. Let's try something new.
Why not? The as you say, the Lord's Day is. I think it says in the Bible, try something new. I think that's what God did on the.
It's in the prologue, day. Actually. I think it's right in the prologue.
He did 6 days. He did 6 days of new stuff, and then he went on the 7th day. I'm gonna try something.
Oh, yeah, nice.
What
happened on that 7th day? Or was that something we don't talk about?
We don't talk about it.
Right.
Eve was naked, wasn't she?
On the 7th day? Was that the 7th day?
She was clothed up to that point.
I've worked really hard all week. I'm just going to do a bit of peeping Tom in on the Sunday.
And on the 7th day, she let the puppies breathe.
And Adam, yeah, we'll move on. You've not been on the show for quite a while. Why?
That's true. Well, I mean, I typically like to go where I'm invited. It's a little weird. Maybe it's an American thing. Probably not. I just think it's I don't know. On the 7th day, I was asked to be on the show, and then here I am.
Is that an American thing to go where they're invited? I would have thought that was fairly.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite.
Fairly.
We just invite ourselves.
How has your Lockdown Palooza 2020 been overall?
I think I'm kind of like our friend Pete. I think I'm kind of built for lockdown. I like staying in my house. I love watching TV. I don't like interacting with people, even though I am a bartender.
And you're on a podcast with us.
Exactly. But, you guys, we're just to let everybody know we're social distancing right now by thousands of miles. So I think we're all going to be okay. I don't know why Nate's wearing a mask, but I think we can get past that.
I'm having a midlife crisis, which is quite different to the rest of you.
You just cover your face. That's your midlife crisis.
Yeah.
It's actually been going pretty good. So I don't know. I like to silver lining shit. So getting a lot of stuff done around the house, writing a lot, and putting all my energy into drinking. I think that's it. Drinking. Just getting absolutely wasted.
I think that does sum up lockdown for quite a lot of people. How's Binge?
Binge is great. Binge is awesome. We actually have a new series of shows coming out at the beginning of the year. We decided to push it to the beginning of the year. But it's still cooking along. We're still putting out 19-hour shows every week. They're very long shows. We just recorded yesterday. It was about 4.5 hours. Ask me what we talked about. No clue. Movies, TV, probably.
It is remarkable how, and please take this in as the compliment I mean it, how little you speak about for how long you speak about it. Like, it's genuinely, I don't know any other podcast. There's no other podcast that I follow that manage to, on a regular basis, hit 4 hours, and that's not even a long one. That's not even a long show.
Yeah.
And yet, realistically, all you're talking about is a few movies and TV shows.
I think it's just the company you keep. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like the four of us could probably have a 4-hour show. Who would listen to that? I don't know. But it's the company you keep. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy talking to Jim Law and Pete. So, I mean, you've been on those epic shows too. So it's just kind of like I never want the party to stop, and that's probably part of my problem. But yeah, it's just I never want the conversation to end. So
it is crazy. Like I say, it's just you get into a vibe of talking about something, and the next thing you know, you've been talking about that one thing for an hour. And
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's good. I certainly wasn't complaining. As you know, I'm a big fan of your show, even though I haven't listened to as many this year as I'd like because of reasons.
But the commute time is down now, right? Everyone's either working from home or just not in their normal commute, which usually takes a couple hours, out of the day. So I get it.
The new show. Can you talk about the new shows, or is it still very much under that lovely hat you're wearing?
It's very much under the lovely hat I'm wearing. And we don't want to tip our hand too much. Let's just say it's going to be a show with a rotating set of hosts who have not watched a particular movie. So I feel like we all have movies that we haven't, for one reason or another, like famous movies that we've never seen. So that's what, it's kind of leaning in that direction. So
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Look forward to that. I think, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun because, talking about stuff that we've not experienced. Like we've started doing, not on that scale by any means, but just before we got you on, we recorded our show, TV Dinners, which goes out to our Patreons. And it's similar in terms of we pick shows that we've never seen before that are food related.
Nice.
Watch it and then do a little chat about it.
I love that.
Just a quick half an hour. We watched one for the one we recorded today, which will go out, I think, next month. Was on Netflix called Taco Chronicles.
Watch that.
The episode about burritos.
Yeah, of course.
Very good. I think we all very much enjoyed it. Not to spoil too much about the episode itself, but we're all big fans of that show.
I love that idea because we all watch a lot of TV. A lot of the TV that we watch in my house, my wife and I, we call it like background shows. Like we're getting dinner together. We want something in the background, something you don't really have to pay all that much attention to. So a lot of those shows that we watch, like I don't bring to Binge Media because, one, those guys probably don't watch it. And two, like it's just, it's a background show. What's there to talk about, But that's perfect. That's a perfect way to just kind of package it and give it to your listeners on Patreon. That's great.
Yeah. So that's good. On the back of that, Stuart, any questions about burritos that you want to raise with Alyx, being that he's in America and closer to the border?
The motherland.
One of the things that we noticed was that in the burritos that they show on that are so totally different to the burritos that we knew. And I had this thing in my head that what we get is this mission burrito, which is it's got the rice in it, it's got the beans, it's got some kind of meat, it's got some salsa or whatever in it. But these guys, they're just chucking some stew and some cheese in a big fat tortilla.
Yeah.
And like, so you're in Chicago, aren't you? So like, yes. What's can you get? Do you have the same thing? Are you getting proper traditional burritos, or are you getting those Americanized rice filled burritos?
See, that's the thing is I actually wrote this down in my notebook. See, I do prep work. I do prep work for this show.
You have a notebook. Wow.
Don't
Don't
How you
brag.
doing, Nathan? How you doing? Don't spoil it. I don't want to know yet. Yeah, this new thing with rice being in burritos, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like it. I don't think it's traditional. But Mexico is such a huge country and it's so regional. So you can have burritos on one side of the country, like on the Pacific side, or the Pacific side, that is completely different from like Gulf burritos.
Yeah.
And it all has to do with the toppings, of course, but I don't think rice has always been part of a traditional burrito.
Do you get a wedge of lime with the Gulf burritos?
Just to float on. That's it. That's all I know.
I suppose it's cheap in it, rice. That's the thing. It's you can
filler in it.
Big spoonful of rice in. It's a lot cheaper than a big spoonful of pork or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, but do you guys have Chipotle in UK?
One branch.
One.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're big on the rice and the burritos, and there's a couple of other kind of more Americanized Mexican food chains that do the same thing.
Yeah.
And whatever. I mean, maybe that the American market probably wants that a lot more. That's why they do it. So
yeah. I think pretty much every burrito you get in England has got rice in it.
Yeah. And is it just basic like white steam rice? Is it like a lime cilantro rice? Is it Mexican rice, which is like more of a tomato based?
Some places will give you the option, so you'll get places that might have two, even maybe three. So it might be a plain, it might be like a lime and coriander, or they might have the full on Mexican rice with the veggies in it and what have you. And same, you might be lucky and get 2 or 3 types of beans. You might be lucky and get 2 or 3 types of salsa. My burrito place in Manchester that's one of the reasons it's so good. You've got like 7 or 8 fillings, you've got 2 or 3 rices, you've got multiple different salsas, 2 or 3 types of beans and what have you. So you get the options. I quite like the rice in the burrito, but that's what I know. That's what burrito's always been for me.
Now, are breakfast burritos a thing in the UK?
Yeah. So the best burrito that
I've
had.
This is weird.
The best burrito that I've had.
Are you waving in a ghost? Is this paranormal activity? What's going on?
Is your wife there, Michael?
Yeah, I've just asked politely if Claire could pass me my drink.
Hello, Claire.
Right, did you text her for that?
Thank you very much.
So you asked Claire.
Yeah, if you could fill it out, that'd be amazing, actually.
Oh my god! Actually, can you bring back 3 tacos as well? That'd be amazing.
So the best burrito I've had in the UK was from a place called Smokies in Brighton, and it was a breakfast burrito, and it was fucking amazing. Yeah, so I immediately added that to my rotate. Thank you very much. Immediately added that to my rotating sort of meals that I can cook library.
Was gratuity involved in that, or is it just implied? You need to leave something a little extra. Now, in this breakfast burrito that you had, MJ, what were the fillings? Was that like eggs, bacon, chorizo? Like, what are we talking about here?
It was egg, chorizo, cheese, and
hash brown.
No, I don't think there was any potato in there.
Black pudding.
Cheese, chorizo,
beans.
Just
I'm literally almost sorry I asked.
Those were the important things.
Cheese and chorizo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fried mushrooms.
Fantastic. But
beef burger. Chips.
I like the simplicity of like just a regular bean burrito. It's inoffensive. Wow. One topping. That's it. Or one filling. It's a good utility.
Not much of a thing over here, is it? I don't think.
No, it's not at all.
No, like we said, like the burritos we get over here are just completely different, realistically, on mass. But yeah, anyway, as a little snippet of the sort of thing that you can hear if you subscribe to Patreon, and you can hear the episode of TV Dinners coming up in November where we discuss Taco Chronicles, or Taco. How is it? Is it Taco? Taco. taco.
Mhm.
But burritos.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the extra 3 B's at the end.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've always been a fan of extra B's. It's just the way I live my life. And,
B's lead to the D's.
yeah.
hey.
Your highlight of 2020, surely, Alex, would have been Las Vegas in February, when you got to meet Pete MC.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm, first time. Yep.
Yeah, and Jay Black.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Weren't you at that night?
I was there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we met this year. What a weird year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something that you, me, and Pete talk about every now and then. It's like it was right as like everything was kicking off in February. Remember going to like the drugstore and seeing there was no toilet paper, there was no like travel size hand sanitizer, only like the big ones. People were already wearing masks. It was a little weird. It was a little weird for sure.
I've also lost count the amount of times we've just messaged each other randomly and just gone, it was this year that we met.
It was yeah,
exactly. I don't know what we're going to do in 2021. Like, it's going to be a weird year not to be able to go, it was this year. But yeah, any food highlights from Vegas?
Oh, I mean, obviously going to Hell's Kitchen with my good friend and colleague, Mr. Nathan Peterson.
PMC. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, him, whatever. He's a Vince guy. We don't need to talk about that.
He doesn't listen to the show, so fuck you, Pete.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even think he likes food, to be honest. Yeah, that was the first time I had beef Wellington.
Full welly.
Went to full welly. Immediately regretted it as my wife wheelbarrowed me out of the restaurant. But yeah, that was an experience for sure. We got a nice long table right in front of the open kitchen, so that was cool to see.
Yeah.
And saw some of the past contestants from Hell's Kitchen.
Were they actually
TV
there, or just
yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that actually some of them were working there. I thought it was just the photographs of them.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Because I don't know do we get the American Hell's Kitchen over here, guys?
Yes, I don't know what it's on, but I saw an episode of it the other day for the first time.
ITV2 probably. It feels like ITV2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a tremendous trip filled with lots of laugh, love, live, and
good vibes only.
Good vibes only.
Hashtag making memories.
Yeah, absolutely. And some lovely.
I'm gonna put all that on my wall. I'm gonna paint that on my wall.
Please do some
nice
lovely
calligraphy.
Yeah, please, some lovely swirly writing. But yeah, no, that was good. But it was good to see you, and
of course.
Yeah, it was just a shame that the rest of the year we ruined the year, basically.
Absolutely.
Moving on, Mr. Alyx Ancira. This is the 4th time you've been on the show, I think.
It's been a few times, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a little game. I don't think it's a game. That's probably overselling it way too much. I've got a little segment I want you to play, which is called Sweet FA. Sweet Food Association. Can't even say the word. Sweet Food Association.
Okay.
I've got 10 words.
Yes.
That I'm going to say to you that are food related. And I just want the first word that jumps out. It doesn't have to necessarily be food related, just anything. The first thing that just jumps out into your beautiful mind.
All right.
And your mouth. Okay.
My mediocre mouth? What? You say my mouth isn't beautiful too? Jesus. I didn't think I was going to be attacked on this show.
Listen, we're good friends. I didn't know whether I should say beautiful mouth. It just felt like there was a line being crossed. And that's, first word, fish.
Stinky. I'm very picky when it comes to fish.
I was going to say, you're not a mad seafood guy, right?
Not huge. I'm getting into it more and more, but yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Grew up near Lake Michigan, where a lot of freshwater fish winds up on the shore, and it fucking smells. So that's my association.
Nice. Sounds lovely.
That's a great story.
Sweet.
Savory.
Biscuit. I was going to say gravy.
Buttery.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Salt. Salt.
Necessity.
Oh, very nice.
Carbs.
No.
Okay. Cheese.
Yes. Why did I wait so long? Dude, just say yes. After all that time.
Please don't just. Can I just ask that the rest of them you don't just end with yes or no? I mean, feel free if that's really where you want to go with this, but I mean that's not really how the game.
Just shut down your game. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Drink.
Beer.
Dry.
Stinky.
Moist.
Fish.
And last one, cookie.
Yes.
Nice.
I think we'll all just take a moment and let Stuart just find his.
I'm
Yeah,
happy.
have this.
I just got the giggles.
Oh dear.
It's not even a rude word.
Which one? Which word got you?
All of them. Try.
All of them.
Oh dear.
Oh, bless your little heart. Bless your little heart. Lovely. Lovely. Right, let's move on to Quivia.
Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz and a such. It stems apart the two of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A. Yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia.
Oh.
Tonight's Quivia is called Poor Man's Toes.
Dry.
Why is it called that?
I don't know. Stuart, do you think I have any reasons for anything I do for this show?
No, I don't. Carry on.
I'm mentally and emotionally tapped out.
Oh.
I've got some very, very poor clues for you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to do is name the portmanteau word that I've taken two foods or foodstuffs and put them together. So, for example, if I were to say a Mexican fruit/veg bundle, it would be a burritomatoes.
Okay.
I hope that's not. I hope they're better than that.
I think they're marginally better than that, but I don't think they're much better than that.
Don't think I'll be getting any. Then.
Oh God, no! And I haven't even got a tiebreaker, so we'll just race through this until we can get onto some stuff that actually matters. I've got 6 of them. You can do 2 each.
Yeah.
So let's start with our beautifully mouthed guest.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Not creepy either. So.
No. I think it sounds better when I say it like that than just to say he's got a beautiful mouth. Alex, 1 to 6,
works.
please. Any number between 1 and 6.
4.
4.
Mhm.
A. I spent like lots of time on these. Just to be honest, and I'm just looking at them on what am I doing with my life? Number 4, a tea-based pasta.
What? Tea-based pasta?
A tea-based pasta.
All right, I'll help you with this. Think of a type of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Think of a type of pasta.
And then put them together.
I've got it. I've got it.
I've got it. Lasagne chai.
You know, I went there 3 years ago. It's an amazing place. Nice church in the downtown. Lasagne. Okay.
Generally speaking, what I would also say is that the order that the clue is given will give you an order of the words. So, for example, the T part of the portmanteau will be first, and then the pasta part, if that helps, because I want to just give some sort of meaning to my life at this point.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
For the record, Alex is involved in a very good podcast. And the fact that he spent his
Not right now, he ain't.
Saturday afternoon. No, God, oh God, no, slumming it.
Okay. This is so hard. That's definitely what she said. Hold on, I think I'm okay. Let's work this out.
Take your time.
I can't tell if that was sarcastic or not.
We're going for a 4.5 hour show tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was sarcastic. El Grene? And it's 2 each, is it?
Yeah.
2?
This is so frustrating because I got the answer 2 minutes ago. I thought, to be honest, Nathan, I thought it was a very good clue.
Well, you don't know if you're right yet.
I do. I do know if I'm right, Nathan.
This is a really good clue.
Oh, I might have it, but no, I don't. Typhusily?
It's actually what I was gonna go with too. I don't know. I think I'm bad at this game.
Okay.
I don't want to keep holding you guys up.
I'll tell you what. I'll leave
also,
that.
I don't know a lot of T's, so that might be part of it too.
Okay, that probably does help. I'm going to leave it with you though. I'm not going to completely go away from you. So you still work on it, Alex. I'll move on and give the opportunity because I really want someone to get one of these.
Okay.
Not Alex. That'd be weird. MJ.
Number 1,
Alex,
please.
Alex, have all 6. MJ, you said number 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have done better with this. Spanish pie casing.
Spanish pie casing. God. Spanish.
Got it.
Spanish.
Got it.
Pie casing. So pie casing could only be something like pasty or pie. So so the most famous Spanish dish is paella. So what sort of pie dish is there? You got short crust, you got salt water crust, pork pie, paella.
It's
Paella.
It's paella, but with an I instead of an A.
Let's pass it over to Stuart.
No,
I don't know the answer. Sorry, you control where it goes.
Okay, well, we'll move on. I'll let you come back to yours as well. Stuart, 2, 3, 4, or 6?
2.
No, sorry, 2, 3, 5, or 6. Sorry.
2, please, Nathaniel.
Vampires fear this black sweet.
Licorice.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was so quick.
That's easy though. That's like
all of them have been easy, Michael. I've got all of the answers.
Yeah, sorry. Vampires. Okay, that I already know what it is because there's only one food that they don't like.
What's a pie casing? What are pies casing?
Good question.
What pastry?
Correct.
Okay.
Pastry.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Pastry.
Name me a famous Spanish restaurant chain in the UK. Or what's the most famous type of Spanish cuisine that's available in the UK?
Oh, tapestry.
Correct. Too late though now, innit?
Yeah, sort of. You spoon-fed it to me as you would do with tapas because they're so small and enjoyable.
Alex, have you got 4 yet, or do you want to move on? Let's move on.
I haven't gotten 4 yet, no.
3, 5, or 6?
3.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh, no, these are terrible. These fruits are cool and small. This is, I mean, awful, to be honest.
So
I'd
and
suggest if you got the cool bit, it might help.
I know that bit.
What type of fruits are cool, but they're not really? I mean, they are fruits. People don't really think of them as fruits, Alex.
I think I know what it is.
Cool
Sorry.
and small.
I'm going to talk you through this one, Alex.
All right.
I assume this is a phrase in America, but you can be as cool as a...
Bastard.
Right.
As cool as a bastard.
Yeah.
It was a bastard. Yes.
Right, assuming you've got that one.
I do.
Think of how that word ends, and then think of what sort of small fruits might start with the end of that word.
Cucumberries?
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Wow.
Can you do that for my number 4?
Yeah, okay.
So the only descriptor for the berry was small.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There is more than one small food, though, isn't there?
There is. But I think the fact that you describe certain fruits as cool is sort of fairly... So think. I'm not sure what your tea knowledge is like, but think of one from India, in particular.
There was
It's
a film. There was a film, wasn't there? There's Something Limited.
Yeah, there was
Recently.
a Wes Anderson
Yeah.
kind of guy might know of this tea.
Right. Yes.
Oh, just got
Okay,
it.
so you've got that one. So
Got it. All right, I got it.
okay, you got the whole lot.
Yep.
Go for it.
Royal Tenenbaum chai. Right? Am I right,
Yep.
guys?
2 points.
Darjeeling.
There we go. I think no one's going to win tonight. I think we're just gonna play this out. MJ, can you give me 5 or 6, please?
5.
5. Guaci and crispy.
What, Ian Crispy?
Guaci.
You're proud of that one.
No, I'm not. I'm not proud of anything I've done.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, I have to protest that it is a little bit.
Easy.
It does make it
Easy.
challenging that the only
bit easy.
descriptor I have for one of them is crispy.
A little bit easy.
Guaci. Guaci
guaca.
and guaci.
So, avocado kettle chips.
No,
Avocado.
How are you going to spell crispy for him, Nathan?
with a K probably.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Uh,
Oh, my lord. Michael, get a grip.
guac, as in guacamole.
Yeah.
No,
So avocados.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's spelling crispy with a K.
Yeah, so Rice Krispies.
Yeah. Oh.
Kellogg. Avocado. Not avocados. Avocadelogs.
Avocadelogs.
Avocado. Snap crap.
right, I'm gonna give you yours.
Avocado dickhead.
Avocado dunce.
Oh, I genuinely don't know. I'm sorry. Rice Krispies.
No, it's not Rice Krispies.
It's a different Kellogg's cereal. Think about all the different avocado Cocoa Pops. Avocado Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. Avocado Golden Grahams. They're not even Kellogg's, are they? Just any cereal.
Special avocado?
No.
I've got no idea.
What? So let's say crispy didn't mean Kellogg's or cereal or Rice Krispies. Think of another thing that has crispy with a K at the beginning.
Krispy Kreme.
Right. Okay. So what do Krispy Kreme make?
Donuts.
Right. Now imagine that you put donuts at the end of avocado.
Avocado donuts.
There we go. Thank you, Stuart.
Fucking hell.
6, please, Nathan.
Okay. A festive bird in a tart.
Turkey lamb pie.
There we go, Stuart. Thank you for just. I should.
But again, like he's getting the easy ones. He's getting the obvious.
I got yours like that as well. They are
but yours.
The only difficult one I think was cucumberry.
All the listeners will agree with me that once again, Nate puts on this show of pick your numbers. He's already got written down which questions he's given to. We all see it, Nate.
You've been exposed, Nate.
Not for the first time.
That's why
this is like quiz show, only much, much worse.
That's why he always points his camera upwards. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, hello.
I can see Nate's blue balls.
Hello, ladies and men and everything in between. You're all welcome.
We've been doing this show for over 3 years, and you would think that it would get better, wouldn't you? I'm ashamed to be part of this, and I organise it.
Hello, it's MJ. You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please leave us a review on iTunes and check out our other exploits, which does include our Instagram page at FRUKgram and our Twitter page at Food Review UK. And hey, we've got lots of awesome videos on YouTube. Thanks a lot for your support.
Let's put all of that behind us and move on to tonight's subject, which is
the
combinations.
The second ever MJ draws.
Not yet.
Oh, is it not yet?
No, not yet.
I thought we were doing it at the beginning, so I have time to do it.
At the beginning?
Oh, you can. You can say what you're going to do if you wish.
Shit. Oh, I thought I'd.
Don't you remember when we talked about this on last episode?
Yeah, no, I'm not stupid. I know how, because we've already done it once before. Yeah, I know how it works.
When Warren was on the Halloween episode last time round.
Yeah, and it went much better.
It went really, really smooth that time, didn't it? A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot funnier as well.
Just so you know, Alex, we're actually recording with Warren on Tuesday. We haven't recorded that episode, so when we say it happened before, it hasn't yet happened, and this is the first time. This is the first time we're doing it.
Yeah, so I've got confused.
But don't tell the listeners.
Right. Make sure you edit this out then.
Okay.
Because we discussed earlier, a message was sent saying, what's the plan with MJ draws? Start and finish during the show. I took that to mean that there would be a lead in towards a start. That's why I've been holding a pencil for quite some time.
Admin.
Let's do that now then. MJ, what are you going to be drawing tonight?
So today I'm chosen Becky. So every time, well, this is only the second time we've done
it. Second time, like last time.
We ask you to give me an idea for something to draw. We've only had a few ideas for what to draw, so I'm actually going to interpret Becky Williams' comment. She's put a banana for scale. So I'm going to interpret that and draw that.
Okay, you do that while we then start talking about the rest of it.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is like when you go to a restaurant with kids and they give them the pencils, give them the colouring things, keep them busy.
No, it's not going to be anywhere near as professional as that.
Someone send him a map. Tonight's episode is combinations. We've got a wonderful combination of guests and hosts, and a podcast that has loads of combinations of good content and a lot of bad content. But we're going to be talking about combinations of food more particularly. This was Alex's choice of the subjects that I sent him. Just a little insight into Alex's mind. He said that he wanted combinations because, in his words, it should lead to more arguments, which it may or may not do. But I think that says a lot about Alex's psyche. Combinations, quite an open-ended subject. I've sort of sent you a few sort of like possibilities of things that we could talk about. Mm-hmm. What do you think of, like, when it comes to food combinations? What does that muster up for you?
I think your typical like sandwich and either a French fry or a chip or a crisp, either one. Like
Which one?
That's either one. It depends.
No, you pick one. You pick one, Alex.
Pick one and just stick with it the entire time. Okay. But like when I think of combinations, like I think of sandwiches, and I realize that I have specific sides for sandwiches, whether they're hot or cold. So for a cold sandwich, I want a crisp. I don't want fries. But with a hot sandwich, I want a chip or a fry. Not chips.
That got really confusing.
I'm trying to speak the language here. That's all I'm trying to do.
But you said chip for both.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
I think I'm the opposite, you know. I think if I'm making a hot sandwich, I'll tend to have some crisps with it. But with a cold sandwich, it's really nice to have some hot fries or... that's weird, that. I tend not to make cold sandwiches in the house, though. So I'll tend to, if I'm having a cold sandwich, I tend to be out and about. And if it's coming in a restaurant, might have a few fries with it or what have you. Mm-hmm. If I'm making a panini or a toasty or something like that, I'll tend to just throw a few crisps on the side.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, like a deli sandwich or something.
Yeah,
something with some sliced deli meat in there, cold. Definitely need chips, American chips. I'm confused myself.
For the record, I'm amusing myself just watching MJ drawing. To be honest, it is very much like you said, Stuart. It's very much like we've just given the problem child a reason to not talk.
Sorry.
Well, he got his water, right? He had somebody come in and give his water first of all.
I'm happy to laugh along until you call me the problem child. Okay. I'm very much not a child. I'm an adult.
As far as like a dinner plate, you know, if going to dinner, having a course. And like your main course, I think of when it comes to combination of sides.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it. Like what are your favorite combinations of sides?
It's funny that you asked that question. I have this notebook here, which I'm also drawing. So, typical Mexican food is always going to be rice and beans. You're always going to have that on a plate. But one of my favorite foods or my favorite dinners as a kid, steak, mashed potato, corn. So protein, a little starch, some vegetables.
Like a corn on the cob or just some like a
loose corn. Yeah.
This is going to sound like a very stupid question. Is that a thing in America, loose corn? Because like to me, I don't think I've ever seen it firsthand in America.
It's canned.
Yeah,
it's canned typically, but you know, buying like a whole like ear of corn and then steaming it, getting it right, slicing it off the cob, that's fun too.
Yeah.
Mashed potato with steak.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the thing that concerned me a little bit as well.
I think you should be concerned on what you're drawing right now, sir.
Exactly. Get it to
Now, why is that concerning? Is that not a typical thing?
No,
like it doesn't. The palate is like clashing, or what?
Yeah,
chips.
It's going to be chips really. If it's steak, it's going to be fries.
I think baked potato is the only other
Gotcha.
sort of acceptable, or certainly on offer. Now, don't get me wrong. Would I like steak and mashed potato? Probably. I don't think there's anything there to dislike by any means. But it just, to me, I think the thing is with me, steak is quite a formal meat. It feels to me like. It feels like.
Isolate that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like steak, generally speaking, it's a nice meal. It's something that you're not necessarily just throwing on just because it's a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Whereas mashed potato is an informal potato.
See, this is what I was hoping for. A lot of gatekeeping. when it comes to combinations. So, but look at this, Nate. Had the welly at Helly in Vegas.
Well,
Came with mashed potatoes.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. Came with mashed potatoes, though. So you got your steak, you got a little bread, gets mashed.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love mashed potato, and I think it is, when it's done right, mashed potato is a delight on the tongue. But it's just, generally speaking, it's more just it's not necessarily seen as particularly fancy. Generally speaking, you are going to get.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a weird thing to say, because we're also saying chips, which is not exactly particularly a. If you're thinking of potatoes, generally speaking, the high end type of potatoes, dauphinoise and things like that. Not necessarily chips, but
yeah, but you might get like maybe not a mashed potato in those higher end steak places. You might get like a potato puree or something that sits at the base of, or like on the plate, and then the steak on top of it. Yeah, I could see that.
I think I just whenever if someone says to me mashed potato, I just think I've got this image of just not. Just homemade, lumpy, just big mound. Like, it's more about quantity than quality. Just slammed on your plate. So the two don't match. But I think I would like it. I don't think I would dislike it by any means. It's just not necessarily the two that I would have thought of putting together.
Now, in terms of combinations with your dinner plate, a lot of people, especially like at Thanksgiving, where you typically have like a lot of sides, a couple of different proteins. How do you guys feel about like mixing things together? Because some people like their plates like they like their neighborhoods. They want it all separated. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. Can we not get political on this podcast?
Oh, my bad. It's a very easy time in America right now. I just felt like I should just bring something up. No.
Why not?
But how do you guys feel about that? Like, are you guys do you like to keep all the sides separated from the protein? Like, a lot of people don't like the whole like mixing everything together. I'm a mixer.
I feel
personally.
quite strongly about this, actually.
Oh, here we go.
I think it's relatively disrespectful to not mix, because the chef has thought about the balance of flavors in the meal that you are consuming, Nate. Let
me just hang on a minute. Let me just find Michael Jameson Food Review UK reviews McDonald's cheeseburger.
that is
references.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I remember.
Fuck you.
Are you talking about, Alex, like literally getting all of the things on the plate and just mashing it all together? Or are you talking about like getting...
No, not like a fucking witch with a cauldron. No, I know what you mean. I'm just talking about, like, some people do that. They're called children. But I'm talking about, like, if you got a little slice of steak and then you might want to eat that with a little bit of corn, a little bit of potato, like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who just has one thing, I know that you don't. I know that Nate has problems with, like, he likes to keep things separate on the plate, but you just literally have one thing on your fork at a time. You won't get a little.
No, it will depend. It will genuinely depend on certain things. So, for example, I think when I have a meal where there are clearly defined food items. So, for example, coming back to Alex's steak, mashed potato, and corn, I will clearly eat. Like everyone would do this. Like,
clearly, I mean, my reputation precedes myself. Everybody knows I would eat the shit. No, go ahead.
Realistically, I think what I would do, heat dependent, is I would probably do the corn first, although that's usually the hottest thing on the plate. So therefore, that would if it's on the cob. Yeah. But I'd probably do the corn, I'd probably do the potato, and then I'd probably do the steak in that order, individually.
I believe they call that psychopathy.
Yeah, probably. But if I had, say, a curry or a chili where it was something on top of something, I'll probably get a bit of rice with a bit of chili, or a bit of rice and a bit of curry. And do it. So those are different things. It sort of depends, but even within that, in that stupid little thing that my brain does. Yeah. If I'm having, let's say, a curry with, say, some chicken, I will probably eat all of the curry sauce and the vegetables, leaving just the chicken to the end and eating the chicken as the final piece of my meal. So It all depends on the meal, Stuart. Like realistically, I'm not these kind of guy that's like sticks 3 things on my fork and then just lets the combinations of flavors work together.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it.
Yeah, because there are some of those people that are like, my plate, everything on my plate, they can't touch. So they kind of like those plates where you have like separate sections or whatever.
Oh God.
Prison plates.
Prison plates.
I'm definitely not one of those. As much as I do segregate my food in terms of mouthfuls, some foods are better than others. It's just a fact. I'm not one of these people that gets fussy if a certain food touches another food. That doesn't bother me. Like you do see people get really antsy about like beans touching their chips. Oh, my beans are gonna get all mushy. I'll get over it. Just fucking deal with it, you child. Yeah.
I get that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I that's actually the one thing. That was the one example I was going to give of me not liking.
What about if the chef takes time to prepare your meal, and they've decided that the beans and the bean juice works well with the chips, and that it's a good flavor and texture combination? You feel that in that scenario, you feel that you could override their decision, do you?
I appreciate this is really just a joke that you're making, but if
no, it's not actually. I'm definitely serious that you think that you're above the law when it comes to you.
If the chef is feeding me baked beans, then I'm not going to spend much time worrying about what their opinion of my enjoyment of it is.
Feeding them to you. He comes out with a spoon. Open up, Michael. Put your crayons down.
Airplane doing an airplane and everything. That really is chef's table right there. That is a real chef's table right there.
Here comes the BN757.
Oh dear.
Can you spare some change? We've got ears to feed. We come to you with open hands, but instead of on the streets, we're begging on the podcast. Do you want this episode to be our last? Will you please go to Patreon and donate some cash? If you enjoy the Food Review UK content on YouTube and here on the podcast, then please consider heading to patreon.com Food Review UK and making a small donation.
Yeah. About sides specifically, I saw a thing with Heston Blumenthal a few years ago where he was making a chili, and I think at the time we often used to have with our chili some garlic bread as part of, we'd have some rice, we'd have some garlic bread, and Heston Blumenthal, I wish I could remember the 2 words. Basically, he drew a shape that was all soft edges, and then he drew a shape that was all jagged edges, and he got people to assign a word to each of them. So the soft edge shape was called like a blumph, and the hard edge shape was called like a kakataka or something like that. And he said that basically every meal needs to have a blumph and a kakataka. So with a chili, your chili is your clackataka and your rice is your blumph. So you've got the thing that's zingy and full of flavour, and then you've got something else. But garlic bread is a clackataka and chili is a clackataka, so you can't have the 2 things together. How do you feel about that? Does that make sense with regards to size? If you've got a plainer meal, you want a slightly zingier or crunchier, a more just something that elicits more emotion, more fear. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm afraid of my plate.
Like, if you've got some soup and your soup is just a nice hearty like potato and leek soup, that's very much the blumph. It's the comfort. So what you want is some crunchy fresh bread. And it's the bread then that's the clackataka because it's got the crunch to it. It's got something. It's got something that speaks to a primal. What am I? I'm talking shit.
I'd say that I come at that from a slightly more one-dimensional.
That's the word I'm looking for.
I come at that from a slightly more one-dimensional angle, and maybe consider that quite strongly with textures. I'm quite focused on that, but yeah, I should really reapproach it from a slightly different angle. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that philosophy though.
Where would that
Yeah.
put the steak and mashed potato then? Does it work in that way? Because mashed potato is very much a blumph, isn't it? Is the steak
Yeah, I think
clacker enough, or have you got a plate of blumph?
No, I think the steak. I
think
mean, obviously the steak, can be both a blumph and a clacker or whatever the word is.
It's versatile.
Cloaca. But I think it's probably more. It's less a blumph really, because it's usually a nice prime cut with some fairly big, powerful flavors, especially how depending on how you season it and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's probably more the art attack or whatever the word is.
Sometimes they serve like a nice steak with a like haystack onions, like the really shredded, breaded, deep fried, crispy onion on top. I kind of like that as a juxtaposition with everything.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, I like a crispy onion. Oh,
Yeah, same.
very much.
Do you guys get obviously it's very similar to that route, the onion bhaji? Like, I don't know what the Indian food scene is like over in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have a pretty big Indian population here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably our we get that quite regularly.
Explain
do you
that.
have,
Onion bhaji. Oh, it's incredible. So it's shredded onion, and then is it a lentil flour, Michael?
yes, gram flour, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gram flour, and it's mixed together as either a ball or a patty, and then deep fried. So it's it's a slightly stodgy, like a cross between an onion ring and a cakey kind of, a slightly stodgy. Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah, that sounds
really
delicious.
good.
Is it like accompanied with a sauce or anything, or you just eat them like crispy?
Typically,
Some places will give you like a mint chutney or raita. Yeah.
you'll usually find it in the starters section. Yeah. So the Indian food that you have over there, then, is it like different curry dishes, like would you know what I meant if I said like korma or tikka masala and?
Yeah, I mean, my wife is the big Indian food fan. She's, she definitely, it's one of her favorite foods. I'm just barely getting into it. Like, she introduced me to Indian food. So I really don't know a lot of the dishes, but I know like the tikka masala. Huge fan of naan, but that's, I'm just a huge fan of bread in general.
Yeah, nice.
But I mean, everything I've tried, I feel about Indian food the same way I feel about sushi. Not that they're the same thing. I just need to be told, like, I need my wife to just be like, you're gonna like this. Open your dumb face.
Yeah.
Eat this.
Open your beautiful mouth.
Open your beautiful mouth, Ancira. I'm like, okay, that's why we're married.
On that point, I know this is way off topic for what we're talking about tonight, but I find it interesting with Indian restaurants in particular, actually probably Chinese as well. Is like we obviously have they're two cuisines that are very much ingrained in British society now, and a lot of the dishes, if you've never had them, you probably know a little bit about them. But when you go into
sorry, what was the other one? Indian and
Chinese,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you went into most Indian restaurants, I would say you won't necessarily get a description of what the meal is. Like, most menus might just say Boona, for example, and there won't necessarily be any description of what it is, or if there is, the description might be very, very basic, that it doesn't really. MJ disagrees, but I do think that there's a lot of dishes on an Indian restaurant and not always a lot of explanation about what that dish actually entails. And so that coming to your point about like, it's not necessarily for a beginner that walks in having never had that cuisine before. I don't necessarily think they are. Yeah. Sorry, I'll rephrase that, Michael. Maybe sometimes you do get descriptions, but sometimes the descriptions are very similar with each other.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of dishes which could be described as chicken in a rich gravy, medium spiced.
Yeah,
that could mean a lot of things.
Yeah, I would say what you would usually find with UK takeaway menus, I guess, is that their specialities are described, and they might have some of the dishes described, but there'll be a list of like Rogan Josh, korma,
tikka masala, which might not have any description whatsoever.
Mm.
But I'd say usually they will be. I mean, I'm just speaking from my experience with the ones around here, of course. But yeah, it is fucking overwhelming to someone who doesn't know. 100%.
That does seem to be a common thing with like Indian restaurants on like those renovation shows or like Kitchen Nightmares, is that the menu is so vast.
Yeah.
And they always tell them like you got to focus on like maybe say 15 things instead of 455 of them.
God, that's a lot. I mean, that is.
Can you see why it's overwhelming, Nathan?
Oh, I mean,
can you see why?
Just cut it down to at least just get it under 400. I think is your first step.
This beautiful mouth only has so many miles on it, baby. You know, like I.
How am I supposed to
even know
try
what
all of these? No, I don't. Back on topic. So I've noted down a few more specific combinations that people talk about and sometimes get a bit pissy about. So the first one I'm going to sort of focus on: sweet and savoury.
Yes.
Oh
now,
God.
The big one, the elephant in the room, if you will, is the pineapple on the pizza.
Yeah.
Alex, you are a Chicagoan.
Thank you.
Yeah. You obviously
Fruit doesn't belong on a pizza, even though it's one of the main ingredients.
Chicago very, very much has its pizza scene. How do you feel about a pineapple on the pizza? I think you're an anti.
Fruit doesn't belong on pizza, even though it's one of the main ingredients. I've had pineapple on pizza. I don't know why it exists. Obviously, like pizza's near and dear to my heart. Just had it yesterday. And what's up?
Where from?
A little Chicago joint called Illuminati's. They're one of the famous kind of. We do deep dish pizza. They're one of those places.
Illuminati's.
Illuminati's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Triangular pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
A big eye in the middle of it.
Yeah, I don't. I try not to gatekeep, but fuck me. The pineapple on the pizza thing is, that's rough. That is rough. I'm not saying it doesn't belong in it, but I'm kind of saying it doesn't belong on it.
So before I ask you that question that I was going to ask you, Stuart, you're pro pineapple on pizza, right?
Fairly recently, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Why recently? Did you dislike it, or you hadn't tried it?
I used to dislike pineapple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I dislike pineapple in general, but then as soon as I started appreciating pineapple, I really got into the pineapple on the pizza. I think it was I had something with pork and pineapple in a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
yeah, and then that was like, oh well, right, this goes. So then it's not a big stretch to stick that on a pizza.
Fair enough. So then I know what MJ's views are on it. Coming then back to you, Alex. What is it? Because I've always been pro it. I've never had an issue with it whatsoever. Yeah. But I'd like to know, and I've never actually asked anyone why. What is it that you and the rest of your clan
don't say clan.
Forge with a C. Which what is it? What is it you don't like about it? What is it too jarring a flavour? Because pineapple is quite sharp.
It is. It's very sharp, and I think that's it, right? Like I think when you have a pizza, typically what you're dealing with is either some bitterness from like peppers or onions that you would put on it. I don't do that, but that's bitterness, salty, savory. You're getting all those flavors, and then you get this really sharp sweetness, and I think that's why people don't like it. But Michael, you're right. You could get like a margarita pizza and have sweet tomatoes on it, and it's not going to be as sweet as pineapple on a pizza, but it's still a pretty sweet dish. Yeah, I mean, the pineapple on a pizza is, I think I'm at this point where, like, just eat whatever the fuck you want. But
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, tell people that they shouldn't eat. It's like you should never put ketchup on a Chicago hot dog. Like, it doesn't belong. Eat the hot dog however the fuck you want. But I personally don't put ketchup on hot dogs. So I kind of feel that way with pineapple on the pizza. Eat it however you want. I don't like it, but I think the majority of people is like, oh, it's sweet, and you can't put that on there. But to Michael's point, tomatoes are sweet.
So just then narrowing on that, how are you with sweet and savory as a whole? Is it something that you're a no to across the board type thing, or is it just that particular?
No, the first one that came to mind, chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Like, sounds like it shouldn't be together, and it's so good together. You get the saltiness in the chicken, especially if it's typically it's breaded chicken, fried chicken, and the sweetness of the waffle and the syrup, like all of that together, like on paper, like doesn't kind of make sense. It makes so much sense. It's so good. So that was the first one that came to my head. And actually, I had to sit down and think about it a little bit more. Like bacon and apples. Had it this morning. Delicious.
Wow.
Because you get, you can get like an
Balkan apple's a big thing, isn't it?
Sauce,
So.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess,
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry. So when you had bacon and apples this morning, talk me through this meal. How is this prepared? What are we talking about? Here we go.
See, Michael, your wife's not the only person who can bring you drinks, okay? Yeah. So this morning, I had some scrambled eggs, some sliced bacon that we fried up, and cooked some apples, sliced apples.
Yeah.
Oh, nice binge media koozie.
Okay.
So we wound up having tacos. Egg tacos, throw some bacon in there, throw some of the apple in there, and then we have like a spicy lime crema that we put on top of it. Fantastic.
What is crema?
Which answer do you want me to?
So what was in the crema?
So it's
I need to know because I'm making it next week.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Good question. I don't know, but it's delicious.
Fair.
It's lime and it's spicy and it's smoky.
Nice.
It's fantastic. I don't know what the base is though to make it creamy. I don't know if it's sour cream. It's probably sour cream if I had to guess. With some spices and some lime. Yeah, so we had egg tacos with bacon and some sliced cooked apples with a little cinnamon on top. It's fantastic, gotta say.
Nice.
Sounds amazing.
Stuart, sweet and savoury. Sweeter and savoury, yeah.
Yeah, big time. Love it. Again, something that's been in my life more recently. Like, obviously, we've spoken about this before, but like bacon and the whole pancakes, bacon, maple syrup.
Yeah.
A lot of these sweet and savoury things are things that seemingly have come over from North America. So I'm a big fan of the pancakes, bacon, maple syrup. I've had chicken and waffles once. Really enjoyed it. I put too much hot sauce on mine, so I did the syrup, but then I went a bit hot sauce crazy. Put about half bottle of Cholula on there, and it made it not too spicy. It just made the flavour a little bit more challenging. But I get it. I would certainly have it again. And a big one that 10, 15 years ago I wouldn't have touched is PBJ. I love it as a combination. So I will make I will make myself a French toast with peanut butter and jam on it. I think that was my Christmas. Might have even had that for breakfast at Christmas or on birthday, one or the other. Totally different times of year. But I really enjoy that. I think it's good. Like things like our friend Rich who makes the cookies, where he puts the salted crisps in a cookie, and you're going like, that's weird. No, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. They it balances it out perfectly.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm down for sweet and savoury as a combination. 100% down for it.
We might have talked about this before, but is the pancakes, maple syrup, and bacon not a typical? Is that more of a North American thing? Do you guys not?
It's
typically have that.
It's everywhere now, but it's
you see it more now.
It's definitely not a traditional British thing. It's completely the Americanization of British culture.
I think you'll find it. Yeah, a lot of restaurants and brunch places. I don't think there's many people are necessarily cooking it up at home. I don't know if that's a fair thing to say. I mean, obviously,
gotcha. Yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily seeped into our culture that much. But yeah, I mean, definitely you'll see it in places to buy. Coming back to the chicken and waffles thing, I've had that twice, and I just can't get on board with it. It's not. No. I think it's just I've had poor examples of it. I think I have in my head what I expect it to be or what I want it to be, and both times I've had it, it just feels like I've got waffles, maple syrup, and some protein in the middle with no flavour. It doesn't feel like the chicken is really adding anything to it. Like like you said about the saltiness and stuff like that. The two examples I've had, I've been like, this chicken is just giving me more mushy texture. There's nothing. It's nothing added here on a savoury note that I would want. Maybe they've doused it in too much maple syrup. I don't know what it is, but I really want to like it, but I've had two times and I've just been like really underwhelmed by it.
I also think normally that places that serve chicken and waffles would use a white meat instead of a dark meat, and the dark meat has all the flavor. I know like dark meat gets a bad rap, but that's where all the flavor is. I mean, not to say I don't like a chicken breast, but that's typically what they serve, and it just doesn't, unless you brine it, which I don't think restaurants typically do, like you're just not going to get that depth of flavor with white meat because it's, those fibers are harder to penetrate because it's so much thicker.
Yeah. I might just make some waffles and put some chicken skin on top.
yeah. Some crackling for sure.
That's
good.
MJ, you're pro sweet and savoury, right?
Yeah, massively. So I want to circle back just very briefly to pineapple on pizza. I think that traditionally, I don't know if this is a global thing, but certainly traditionally in the UK, you would see pineapple almost exclusively on a Hawaiian. So usually with smoky ham and mushrooms, or just smoky ham. And I think it goes really well with that. I think it plays really nicely off of the smoky ham, which can play quite intensely and deeply. So I think it adds a different dimension there. I do think actually it's probably misplaced though. I think it works better with pepperoni. Pepperoni is so fat, salty, rich, and spicy that crucially the juiciness as well of the pineapple blends really well with it as well, and it just lightens up the whole experience. So for me, it lightens it up and freshens it up and gives it a bit of extra zing, and again it cuts through the richness of fatty meats. So that's where I like it primarily on pizza, and I'm a big fan. Sweet and savoury in general, I'm just absolutely, you won't even find a bigger advocate of it. And I'm about to discuss things that I'm sure will get me probably hate mail and hate comments, and I'm sure there'll be some negative reactions in the room. But I would ask people to just think about things like PB&J and chicken and waffles and everything that we just discussed, and just like maple syrup and bacon. What I'm about to describe is no different to maple syrup and bacon. So I'm not a massive fan of like tomato. Well, I don't like tomato ketchup. Typically, I like barbecue sauce, but I typically won't be dipping like chicken tenders in it or anything. So I've got a few sauces at home. I've got like a toffee dessert sauce, just a typical toffee dessert sauce, and I've started getting into the game of blending my own, so mixing pre-existing sort of ice cream syrups with other stuff that I have. So currently, my favourite one that I've got at the moment, which works so well when we have like breaded chicken, is a malted caramel toffee sauce. And it is fucking divine. Dipping my chicken dippers in that, oh man, it just adds an extra element and an extra dimension, and the texture as well, the sweetness and the stickiness. Massive fan of weird combinations.
It is actually very interesting. Like we Stuart and I give you as much shit as anybody about the chicken nuggets in McFlurry and all that sort of stuff that you do. And I stand by all of that shit because I think you deserve it. But you're right.
I do.
What you've just described, in theory, is no different.
It's no
to
different.
maple syrup and bacon.
Correct.
I would argue that the maple syrup and bacon, maybe they're two. Both of those examples are more extreme from each other. So bacon is obviously very salty, and maple syrup is arguably more sweet than a toffee sauce. Whereas like chicken and toffee sauce is maybe a bit too close. So chicken itself it's not always necessarily the most powerful of flavors, etc., etc.
Yeah,
so maybe with the bacon and the maple syrup, you've got a lot of sweet and a lot of savory that mix hopefully nicely in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I mean, all of this is all about people eating with their brain rather than their mouth, so to speak. It's all that preconception of, oh, I'm not going to like that without ever having tried it. I am actually, I wouldn't say desperate, that's probably too strong a word, but there is a part of me that does want to try these weird combinations that you've had recently, to go, okay, let's give him some credit and go, what does a chicken nugget in a McFlurry taste like? What does chicken with a toffee sauce taste like? Because it might be incredible.
Yeah, and let me be clear, I have tried stuff that I didn't dig. So there's I'll be specific to, I think, a UK brand, Askies or Arskies. They're like the leading ice cream syrup brand over here. So they've got quite a big range, and they've got things. So one thing they've got is a caramel sauce, which is a quite clear, transparent, very, very sweet, quite one-dimensional caramel sauce, and it's fine. It's good. I'm not saying it's a bad sauce or anything, but then conversely, they've got a toffee sauce which is opaque and creamier and more dairy. And the caramel sauce, I didn't hate it or anything, but it's not good with chicken. It doesn't taste nice with chicken. Whereas conversely, the toffee absolutely works brilliantly well. I'm saying I'm not just being controversial for the sake of it. I'm not just going, oh yeah, I love it just because it's sweet. It does have to taste good and work well with it.
I think it's also worth noting that things that are traditionally put with, say, chips, for argument's sake, or indeed the chicken, ketchup, barbecue sauce, they're sweet in nature as well.
We
it's
think exactly the same thing.
We sort of think of them as savoury in a weird way, but the reality is, if you'd never had those before in your life, you'd never tasted those, and someone gave you those and told you, maybe not that they were dessert sauce, but if you were given those for the first time and asked to describe the flavours, you would probably say sweet. But
the first thing you would say, yeah.
But I think it's just because there's probably an underpinning bit of sort of vinegriness or something along those lines in them that maybe just
like a honey mustard. Yeah. So you got that sweet, and then you got the weight of that vinegar in the mustard.
Exactly.
Yeah,
honey mustard is so sweet. Yeah. Put that with some chicken, no problem. Oh right. No, you can do that. But
and again, it comes a little bit down to balance. Again, like another one I made was an orange. I think it was orange caramel honey blossom chili. So it had the heat as well as sweet, as well as fragrant, and the citrusiness and the freshness and the zing. So it was hitting all these different boxes. And this is something that so I've been learning to cook properly, like bin cooking, since Claire and I moved out. So 7 or 8 years or something like that. And I'm now getting to the point. I mean, I could have got to this point 7 years ago or 8 years ago, but the balance of flavors. So I will now taste this is so fucking basic, but I didn't do it for so long, but taste my food before serving it up. And I'm now getting to the point where I have the knowledge of, oh, that needs a little bit of vinegar or lemon juice or salt or sugar to balance the flavors. And I'm currently being severely mocked for my hand gestures, which makes me feel really good.
Sorry, I was enjoying
that. No mockery. I mean, the thing about flattery.
This is Timmy. Say hi, Timmy. Hi. Timmy doesn't know what podcast to listen to because people don't leave a review. Isn't that right? That's right. And isn't it also true you're not an orphan? Absolutely. There you have it. Conclusive evidence that orphans, and definitely not me using a higher pitched voice, have a harder life because you don't leave a podcast review. Review us today. Save an orphan.
But also, like, how do you guys feel about like an egg roll or like a spring roll with that sweet and sour sauce? I mean, you got a little bit of both there, the sweet and savory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, another Chinese dish, lemon chicken. You know, it's
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's obviously more of a slightly more sour lemon, but it's still a very sweet sauce. Like it,
Yeah,
but
very sweet.
But wouldn't turn our nose up at that. We wouldn't go, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Putting all this sweetness with your chicken. Yeah, MJ brings out his McDonald's toffee sauce, and suddenly we all lose our minds. Joker memes and shit like that. I think it's just because we don't like MJ.
Yeah, which
Sounds
is
like it.
sort of right.
Yeah,
sort of. I'm not a huge like a baked sweets fan. Just like, cakes, muffin. Not a huge fan of that. Like over the last, I would say like 5 to 10, now probably about 10 years, bacon on like cake or muffins has like been huge here. And I was like, oh, this sounds disgusting. Had it, pretty fucking good. I think, not gonna lie, it's pretty good. So that's another sweet and savory combo there.
Yeah, I mean, bacon's obviously making its way to some degree into the sweet world. Like one of the products that MJ Gossie and I reviewed a few years ago was maple bacon chocolate from our friends Steffi from the Chocolate Smiths. And we actually complained that actually the bacon wasn't strong enough. Like it was.
Oh, really?
Was there.
Yeah.
It was there very much at the back. It was more of a flavouring than actual. Was there actually any sort of like candied bacon in there? I don't think there was there, MJ?
I don't think there was.
It was more of a flavour thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we actually
Sorry,
complained that there should have been more. There could have been more in there. But yeah, seeing that sort of flavouring and maybe the candied bacon pieces, like Five Guys milkshakes, bacon's being thrown in there. So yeah, it's not just sweet infiltrating the savoury world. It's
salted caramel, of course.
Salted caramel, salt with chocolate. We're seeing plenty of like salted chocolates hitting the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that stuff.
So it works very well.
Yeah, and you can always get hickory or smoked applewood bacon, which gives it more of that sweetness too when you fry that up. That's always good.
Yeah. Like you said, maple bacon, maple ham and gammon, all that sort of stuff.
Your lovely wife cooked Fanta gammon today.
She did. Yes. Orange, slow cooked orange soda, gammon. Yeah, it was nice. Very odd, like very weird, being able to taste like proper like
Fanta, don't you want a Fanta, don't you want a?
No, I don't know. That must be a
good.
60s thing. It's a 60s advert, is it?
It was no. It's a very, very famous Fanta advert, but weirdly they never did it over here. It was like an American Fanta advert. Yeah, it was a big thing. There was a lot of women in bikinis in the advert, Michael.
Would always play before like trailers in movie theaters. That's where you mostly see it, or where I mostly saw it.
I've just thought of something that is very sweet and very savoury. Just to close out this point, it's probably something that Alex may have had. He may not have. Peanuts in Coke. Is that a thing?
I think it's like salted peanuts or like the in the South it is.
Yeah, but you've not tried it yourself, no?
I've not tried it. In theory, sounds okay. Yeah, I'd definitely try it. Yeah.
Sounds odd. I think I try it for experimental point of view, but it's not. The two flavors don't leap out at me and go, oh yeah, these two should naturally work well.
Is it like handful of peanuts and then a swig of Coke, or like you put it all into one glass together?
I think I've seen just a few like sprinkled on top in a bottle.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that.
I should do that. Actually, I was thinking. I've been meaning to do that for ages. Actually, I should also do
Mentos and Coke.
Correct, but just salted Coke, because there's quite a few salted Pepsis in Japan.
Really?
Like salty watermelon Pepsi and all that, and sodas in general. Yeah, I should do a salted Coke. Actually, I'm liking the idea of that.
You're getting like the salted syrup in there. I can see how that can
go
together.
just dissolve a little bit in water, and it should be an easy way to mix it in, I think.
One of my favorite sweet and savory snacks as a kid is a sliced, it's very, very Hispanic, very Mexican, sliced mango with lime juice and I don't know if you guys have tahini sauce or a tahini.
Yeah, it's crushed
seasoning?
sesame seeds. Yeah.
Is that the stuff you tried that you got us on in Vegas?
Yes.
The stuff around the rim.
Yep.
Oh
yep,
no,
yep.
so not tahini then.
No,
Not
no,
tahini. No, tahini.
No,
It's the
chili-
brand, but it's basically
Right.
chili lime flakes
Right.
Yeah.
that you put on top of it. So you get like
Right.
the spicy of the chili lime, and then you get the sweetness of the mango. Fantastic. Highly
Yeah,
recommend it. If you
When
like
we got
mango.
back to Vegas, Laura sought out some on the internet and bought some because she was very much in love with that stuff. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, very good stuff. Yeah, I think you'd like it, Stuart. I know you like a bit of kick and stuff like that. I think it'd be something you should look for. Lovely with like I think we tried it with, coming back to it, pineapple. Worked really well with that.
Nice.
Moving on, just very quickly on this one. Drink and food combinations. Probably more so with Alex and Stuart on this, I guess, because it's probably aimed more at booze really than anything. Any not to suggest either of you are alcoholics, as we've discussed. Are there any foods that you have to have a certain drink with, or vice versa, foods that enhance a certain drink? MJ's gone pissy.
Oh, I'll just sit out of this bit, shall I?
No,
So you're not addressing me, as you said in your words. I'm not addressing MJ on this one, you said.
Well, you're handling it well. That's good.
Yeah. MJ, do you find any particular waters go better with hamburgers or?
Right, I take your point.
But yeah, so do you find any drinks that are enhanced by certain foods, or if you're having a food, you have to have a certain drink with it for whatever reason? Is there anything like that? I can't think of any examples. The only thing I can think of is red wines. I've had red wines where I've taken them on their own, and they've been very, very difficult to drink. They've not been particularly nice. I've had it with a steak or some lamb or something like that, and it's just enhanced that red wine and made it easier, more palatable. But I didn't know if there was any other examples of that. I know you like to have a beer with some of your meals, Stuart, in the past, but is there a particular one or particular meals that you would have it with?
I if I'm eating Jamaican food, jerk chicken, I'll tend to want to have ginger beer with it, and I don't know whether I think it's just a
cultural thing, I guess. Is it?
Yeah, well, it is a cultural thing. Yeah, I mean, you like if I used to get my Jamaican food from a takeaway near where I lived, and they had a certain number of different cans of drink that they sold in the shop, so I would get ginger beer, and I suppose it's just you make that association, and when you're eating the jerk chicken and the rice and pear, you want the ginger beer with it. Like in terms of beers, I find that unless a burger, specifically a burger, can take a really punchy beer, but most other foods, so anything spicy, I don't want too punchy a beer. I want maybe even a lager or just a pale ale, something not too like. I'm not going to start drinking a super hoppy 7.5% IPA with something spicy, because the hops are basically spicy. They're having the same effect on your taste buds, and it is a waste of time. But you get just a nice German lager or a nice pale ale with your spicy food. But there's something at burgers can take whatever you throw at them. They truly are a remarkable thing. The burger, I'm yet to find a beer that a burger can't withstand. Yeah.
What a statement. Yeah.
I hope that's a platform that you're running on for political office, because I'd vote for you.
I'd like to address all of those points, actually. Stuart, first of all, thank you for a recommendation of having ginger beer with jerk chicken. Claire and I have decided to have jerk chicken as our takeaway on Saturday.
Excellent.
So, and I happen to have a ginger beer in the fridge. I do not like ginger beer.
What have you got? Which ginger beer?
I believe it's the Bon Accord.
No, you need to get Old Jamaica or KA.
Well, I'm going to have the Bon Accord one. Yeah, I don't actually like ginger beer, but the idea of having with jerk chicken, I quite bloody like that idea.
Yeah.
So thank you. And then you said some other things as well. I was just going to say I had burgers for dinner.
What beer did you have with it?
I had water.
Oh, there we go. Did it go nicely with the burger?
Really
Did the-
nice, yeah. Nice
did the
palate cleanser.
Complimented it well.
Yeah.
Still or sparkling?
Still, yeah, still.
Tap or mineral?
It's tap.
Regular or vitamin? Do you have vitamin water?
Not from the tap.
Alex, any drinks, drinky, foodie combos?
Yeah, I like your red wine thing because it does tend to bring out those flavors when you're having a steak. Yeah, with a nice cut of steak, prime rib, something like that. Typically red wine or a whiskey, just like a straight American whiskey. I really like. A lot of people do bourbon. I find bourbon to be too sweet because it's more corn based. So I typically like just a straight whiskey. Let's see. Like a lot of, or like any red wine with a tomato based like Italian dish would typically be really good too.
White wine. Is anyone here a white winer?
Ooh, white wine with seafood.
I was going to say that's a big one. I don't particularly like seafood and I don't particularly like white wine, but I know it's a big combo of drink and food, and just wondered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to go back to Stuart's point about different beers that you would have with different foods. For me, one of my favorite things to do in the summer is to grill up some skirt steak, pounded, grill it up, make some steak tacos, and have an ice cold lager with it. It's probably my favorite thing in the world. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or when we were kids, because we weren't drinking beers yet, it would be, I don't know if you guys have Jarritos. You have that? So it's just a Mexican soda.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are really good. Very
I've
different
had
flavors too.
Yeah, they're good.
What was that, sorry?
Sugar. Jarritos. Jarritos.
TOS. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
I don't think I've seen those.
We
I
talked
think
about them with David Main.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say it did ring. It sort of rang a bell, but I couldn't think where from.
Yeah.
Here's another one I thought of, which could be controversial.
Ooh.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
And tomato soup.
Oh, God.
No, it's not controversial. Mate. Yeah, it's big time combination, isn't it?
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Cuts through it because the cheese, the toasted cheese is so strong, so intense, so fatty, so rich that the sweetness cuts right through it. When we do mac and cheese, and this was actually, to be fair, all credit goes to Rich for this one because he was the one who got me on this. When we do mac and cheese, we do a slow cooked tomato sauce with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to very shortly close out this section and move on to Sockmate. But before I do, I thought it was very fitting today. So we're going down to talking about combinations. We're going down to Portsmouth for a couple of nights next weekend.
Correct.
Big shout out to the Calfu Callum Johnson.
Oh boy.
We're looking at one of the restaurants near where we're staying. It's a family trip. There's a Hungry Horse.
Oh.
One of the big chains in the UK. Such a very, very classy establishment. Going to be going there, and we were taken by one of the dishes on their menu, which was the lasagna pizza sandwich.
Wow.
Which is it's a lasagna sandwich between two slices of pizza.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Wow.
So yeah, very much as a combination of very much a juxtaposition of just I like that came up today, which was fitting given the conversation we've had tonight. I just thought. I mean,
it's. I think we can all agree that is horrific and it's a crime against food. But 100%.
Oh, big buying it, yeah.
I would put that in me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's total bullshit. Yeah, give it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know where this would be necessarily, but imagine you. I know your views on buffets, generally speaking, Stuart. But imagine you are a meal whereby there are various dishes in front of you. You would have no problem, I would assume, having a bit of lasagna on your plate and having a a slice of pizza on your plate
God,
and
no,
eating
no.
and eating the two independent. Oh no, I know you're a bit off about lasagna. But you would eat them potentially individually on your plate.
Yeah, and I'd 100% have like a garlic bread pizza. Conceivably, I've done that multiple times in my life. Made a lasagna, bought a garlic bread pizza, done that. You know, there's not much difference then putting the lasagna between the two. No, I mean I think that I imagine that all of the elements of that meal are probably not the best examples in their own right. No. But by jamming them together, somehow it makes it both horrific and wonderful.
Yeah. Speaking of wonderful and horrific, my last point was coming back on pizzas was Reed Wilson and the New Zealand.
Oh God.
Spaghetti hoops pizza, which is just.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I just remember that like a bad childhood memory.
Do you know what it reminds me of? You know in Lost Boys when he looks at the rice and it turns into maggots. It just always reminds me of that. It's like a pizza covered in little ringworms.
Yeah.
By the dozen, just dozens of them. Ugh.
Oh,
lovely.
Those novelty combinations. Sometimes like that one sounds interesting, Nate, but then you hear about like double burgers, like a double patty burger with like donuts as the bun.
Yeah.
And that's like
MJ has had that.
I've eaten one of those.
And how are they?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, they're so fucking good. My reaction to what, because I did it with Krispy Kreme in McDonald's and just replace it.
How are you spelling crispy?
No, I called back too early. I like that. And there's a clip of me. I might put it on Instagram actually. There's a clip of me trying it, and I just there it is. Nate's doing it. Fuck me, hit me for 6, which is what I gave it. So
yeah. Still yet to try that. I would like to try that. Right, let's move on. Social media. We are racking up minutes. Minutes in this show.
We are racking up minutes like you guys rack up minutes listening.
Suck man, it's time for questions that you posted on all the platforms that you utilize to provoke our replies. Although increasingly I'll posted the forms of statements that require no response, as opposed to the questions we requested in our initial posts on the aforementioned Suck Man.
Because we're saying them and you're hearing them. The words that we are on. So, I already said earlier that one of the things said was Becky Williams said a banana for scale. We'll come back to that in a minute, of course. Mark Can said MJ should. I missed this. Jesus. Mark Can.
Canners.
We've already done it.
I know. Yeah, I know you just did it, but I talked over it. MJ should draw a picture of the North. I actually missed that. That might have been quite fun to draw.
Too late. At least drew a banana.
Yeah.
When he says, do you think he means the region of the UK, or do you think he means the new Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the North?
Or does he mean Winterfell?
It could mean Winterfell.
If you know what Stuart's talking about, then you're good.
Okay, next.
Ben, over to Instagram now. Ben loves cheese.
Jesus.
That might be my favourite. Another question. How did we jump from 71 to 73? They're recording out of order. Canny UK... I shouldn't have read that one. Canny UK... It wasn't interesting. Canny UK 69.
69ers.
Mark Can.
I have a friend that when he goes to the cinema orders nachos with cheese sauce and jalapenos. He also gets an ice cream and then proceeds to place the jalapenos over his ice cream.
Depending on the ice cream, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see it.
I think I don't know. I think I have less issue with the sweet and spicy element than just maybe a textural thing.
And the
Like,
pickliness.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
The
Yep,
only thing
yep,
that
yep.
worries me a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I could enjoy I've had spicy ice cream, not to brag. But yeah,
It's not bragger day. Come on.
yeah. But yeah, jalapenos, jalapenos on
Jalapenos.
on ice cream. Not so sure about that.
And we've got a reply to that. Maddie Madworld.
Matters.
Well, it is.
I think she's done a pun as well here. I canny believe that.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Cool.
Well done.
The guy who
Yeah.
asked it was canny.
This is the free show. People don't have to pay for this one. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ben loves cheese.
Benners.
Oh! Jinx.
Q's and C's must mean questions and concerns. The latter must refer to Michael Jameson filming himself make mayonnaise with Monster for an April Fool's prank, or filming himself dipping a cheeseburger into a McFlurry and filming it. Never done explicitly that. I don't think he's dipped a cheeseburger into a McFlurry and filmed it yet, but I'm concerned he will. Yeah. My question is, what? I think I did I not do a cheeseburger McFlurry?
I think you did. I think you had it as like a layer in it, didn't you?
Oh, I did. So I did
Like
a
as a
McFlurry
sauce.
in a hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like you spread it on like a condiment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it melted immediately, so it didn't work.
I can't imagine why. Oh, it
And he
didn't
also,
work.
he also did a similar one with fluff, where he put far too much fluff.
Yeah, I fucked
Yeah.
up on that. I think that'd be good if you showed some restraint, which I didn't. My question is, what is the weirdest food combos you have tried abroad? And more concerns go out to anyone that has seen a Michael Jameson video and called the mouth noises satisfying, especially the Walker's Double Crunch video, where he puts his mouth to the camera and shows off how crunchy they are. Weirdest abroad foods.
I've got. I guess the weirdest food I've had abroad was alligator, which is not that weird realistically. But that's probably as weird as it's got overseas. But I remember by today's standards, very, very timid. But I remember literally the first time I went to America, my mind was blown by the disgustingness that the Americans did when they had cheese in their pastries. Oh my god. I remember seeing, like, next to like the apple danishes and things like that, a cheese pastry, and I was like, oh, these filthy bastards. What are they doing? And now I love a bloody cheese pastry. It's lovely. But yeah, I just remember that I mean, it is timid, but that is the only thing I can think of that is remotely close to this topic.
I've got a hashtag anecdote very quickly. I went on a school trip to Austria when I was 13, and in one of the evening's entertainment, we went to an ice rink. And I bought a bag of popcorn from the little cafe, and it was salty popcorn, and I'd never had or experienced salty popcorn before, and I found it quite unpalatable. So I went back to the thing and bought a Mars bar, and what I did was I ate the popcorn and the Mars bar concurrently to make the popcorn sweet with the caramel and the chocolate of the Mars bar. Yeah.
Wow.
Rather than just not eating the popcorn.
Yeah.
And that was abroad.
Hashtag life hack right there.
Yeah.
For your reference, Alex, a Mars bar is a Milky Way.
I know what a Mars bar is. Okay.
What
I'm a
is
world traveler.
What's a Mars bar in America then?
I don't know.
Milky Way.
Well, because,
Milky Way.
it's still called the Mars Corporation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Called the Mars Corporation.
But they don't have a Mars bar.
Yeah,
No,
no, Mars bar.
It's a Milky Way, whereas we have
used
a
to have
Milky
Mars.
Way, which is completely different.
Actually, Mars has a
Which is their
factory
Three
that's
Musketeers.
probably 5 to 10 minutes away from my house. It smells delicious.
Go and knock
Wow.
on. Go and knock on. And ask them why they. Yeah.
Very, very weirdly, Alex, I also have a Mars factory, which is about 5 minutes away from me.
I wonder if I walked past the Mars factory, if I'd end up where yours Mars, like if it was like
One big
yeah,
factory.
Like sliding doors.
the portal.
Like a
A
black
magic
hole
factory.
in Mars.
Mars Ryan. The only one I can think of, I've already forgotten. No. The only one I can think of, I think it was supposed to be a bacon flavour saltwater taffy, but it tasted like pork fat
Pork lard.
saltwater taffy, and it's one of the worst things I've ever had.
Cool.
Luke Stevens photography.
Ugh, fucking hell.
Dabos. Bavos.
Dabovs.
Bavos. Fish and chips on pizza. Someone should review that. That, of course, is a reference to when him and I did. So look it up. Maddie Madworld.
Ladders.
Quavers in pot noodle.
God, that was. Oh, right. We need to explain quavers and pot noodles to Alex.
Pot noodles is the easier one, isn't it? It's basically ramen noodles in a pot.
Ramen.
Figured,
No, but it's really dirty ramen noodles with all
bad.
like kind of powdered gravy and stuff in it, and bits of soy meat.
How do you explain quavers?
They're
I
like
don't think they've got anything quite similar. It's a very puffy and aerated corn base. No, it's not corn based. It's potato.
Yeah.
Potato starch, isn't it?
It's a puffed potato starch, very mildly cheesy flavoured potato starch flip kind of shape.
I'll be honest. I'm slightly worried for Maddie Madworld. Like it's the worst thing I've heard on this show tonight.
Oh dear.
Do you think what's worse, that Maddie likes to put quavers
MJ.
in pot noodle, or that she likes MJ?
MJ.
Yeah.
Bonglongs,
Bongers.
Jason.
cheesy puffs and nuts. Just stick a nut in the puff. Can normally fit 3 and bang it in your gob. Also, the same with peanuts and bacon rashers. Make little sandwiches almost.
God. Oh, the things a man can do when he's off his face on high grade marijuana.
Continuing that, what's your favourite Rocky montage and song? Mine's 4 with Hearts on Fire.
No, yeah, that's it. There's no other option.
I'm fairly certain I saw.
I do like Go For It from Rocky 5, but it's no Rocky 4.
No.
There was a thing that came out recently about the percentage of Rocky 4 that was a montage, and it was like a ridiculously high percentage, like 60% of it was a montage or something stupid like that. So yeah, I mean, if your favourite Rocky montage isn't from 4, sort of question.
Is that the one where is that the one where he's in the freezer punching the meat?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
4? No,
that's 1 or 2, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've not seen it, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 4 is where he goes.
He's in Russia.
He's fighting trees.
Yeah, goes to Russia, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
It's Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
He dies.
Halfway through that. I'm sorry, but if you don't play Meatloaf with a fat joint in your mouth and think of good old Natey with the summer of cider, sipping a cold one, your life's a pretty sad one. Just like someone who would buy FIFA for the Switch.
God!
Gone in hard there, isn't he?
Thanks, Jason.
A few points there.
Yeah.
The commenter formerly known as X_Amelia_Hills_X.
What's she changed the name to?
_Amelia_Hills_.
Oh, she's got rid of the X's.
She's got rid of the X's.
Oh, so she's XX's now.
Yeah, she's XX's.
Oh.
XX's?
XX's.
Good band.
Right, what really annoys me is when people get in a tiz about me dipping... Right, what really annoys me is when people get in a tiz about me dipping my fries in a milkshake, but then proceed to do vile and offensive things like dipping your toast crusts in your tea.
Yes.
Like, what's the big deal about me with my fries? Is it because we're in public? Are you ashamed of me enjoying this god-tier combo? Like, get a fucking grip. Also, sorry, this wasn't a question, and I've removed the X's from my username to make life a bit easier. That it certainly did do.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I feel that comment so much. That was one of the things. Do you guys have Wendy's in the UK?
We used to.
But yes,
there was one.
We're about to get one.
Yeah, they're rebuilding one.
A real common thing with here with people who went to Wendy's as kids, they would take
the
fries and dip it in the Frosty. So like that's what's up right there.
Yes, I'm all on that.
Yeah.
It's
do it actually. I think.
Out of interest, is a Frosty different to like a milkshake? Because
it's very thick.
Why I was going to say
it's thicker,
that specifically, but not say a McDonald's milkshake or something like. Why is it a Wendy's specific thing?
they give it to you with a spoon because it's so thick. You wouldn't be able to. I mean, depending on the person, wouldn't be able to, suck anything up through that straw.
Yeah.
Oh, we all
hence-
know someone.
Hence the spoon.
We all know someone.
Someone.
Yeah.
What you say about people dipping the crust of the toast? In
Have you not heard?
tea?
Have you not heard that before?
No.
Oh, I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah.
It's fucking vile. Like, nah.
It was
I'm not
more like a sandwich in coffee. That's like the old people here would do.
Ooh.
And that sounds like the most disgusting thing ever.
Again,
Yeah,
I'm very
it's just-
pro-choice, but
to the point, I struggle even having toast and coffee at the same time. Like if I have a bite of coffee and that flavor's still in my mouth, and then I go for a sip of coffee, I can't. I'm not feeling that. That is a mixture of sweet, savoury, hot, cold. It's just not working for me, I'm afraid.
I liked it when you said you have a bite of coffee. I've got that little image in my mouth, in my mind now. I was hoping you were going to say have a sip of your toast as well, but you just did double coffee. But no, it was good.
I don't know why you're judging me for
fancy.
the things that I do.
You're such a contrarian. You bite my coffee. What the fuck are you going to do?
This whole show's about combinations and things that we do. I don't.
Oh. Right.
Fuck you, to be honest.
Yeah, well, fine. Mark Cannett, who replied to that, saying, "Where are your exes?" And Amelia replied, "To be fair, the only reason I had them was because I thought it looked cool and edgy when I was 14. Now I'm 20 and only just got rid of them."
She's so much mature now. Get rid of
how
those
old did she
stupid
say?
exes.
She's 20 now.
20.
She's only 20.
20, bang.
Blimey.
Wise beyond her years, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she got rid of the exes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go back and forth a bit about how I'll stumble over saying the name, which isn't true and didn't come true.
I think you nailed it, actually.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah,
And finally, Finn Rogers.
Finners.
Dotters.
I would say he's saying something uncontroversial here. He's saying balsamic drizzle on garlic bread. Unbelievable.
When I read that, I was like, wow, that sounds like a game changer and sounds fantastic. And then realised that at ZZ's, I think it is, they do a mozzarella and garlic flatbread with a balsamic drizzle or glaze, and it is tremendos. That was Spanish.
And
Yeah,
so
I understood that.
yeah, thank you. It was for you and you alone.
just rounding off the social media, I have drawn the banana.
So
to
I hadn't
scale.
actually finished talking.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Nice.
So I thought you were moving on to the next segment. That's why.
No. It's fine if you just
I thought you were still
Shoot.
biting your coffee.
you just
Oh,
assume.
sorry,
when I'm
sorry,
finished.
mate. Sorry, I thought you were moving on to the next segment. That's why I interjected.
No. I was just going to say how much I liked it.
Oh, sorry.
How much did you like?
How
it?
much? Yeah, I'm eager to hear this now.
A lot.
Quantify it.
Right.
Put a number on it.
6.
Well, you've made me look a cunt.
Oh, sorry. Can I? This is absolutely nothing to do with this podcast. But as soon as I've got him on the show, I had to tell Alex that I tuned into your binge cast from last night, this morning, before my mother-in-law and my wife had woken up. So there's just me and my beautiful daughter downstairs, and I listened to some of the show. And got to the part where I told my drive-through story from last night.
Yes.
And you started playing the sounder. I think it's from Game of Thrones, the one that goes cunt, and you played it several times, which I was not expecting. Whilst my 3-year-old daughter was in the. That's the one.
You
played
from
that
the Game of Thrones
times.
audiobook.
Correct. You played that several times whilst my daughter was mere centimetres away from the phone, and she replied with "ha ha, cunt." So,
Yes,
Mhm.
brilliant.
Now
Now,
responsible for my daughter learning that word.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm not going to take
first of all-
responsibility for it.
yeah. First of all, binges for the children. That's true.
Yeah.
Much like Wu-Tang. Two, look, she used it in the correct context. You can't yell at kids for using slur words in the correct context.
No, joking aside, I have no issue with my daughter swearing.
Yeah.
In context and at the right time. I don't mind. If she swears in the house, I have no problems with that. If she swears at school, slightly different. But yes, so you are responsible for her first use of that word.
I'm so proud.
Oh,
I'm so proud.
Uncle,
I'm so proud.
Uncle
as
Alex.
long as once she starts talking like a character from Deadwood, then you might have an issue.
Sorry, I had to interject. I completely forgot to mention that earlier. So
I think that's a worthy interjection.
Hi, Nate here. If you've ever listened to the show and thought, hey, those are some groovy kittens, I wish I could hang out with them, well now you can. Check out the Facebook group FRUK Unwrapped and Fans, where you'll find me, Stuart, MJ, some of the other guests, some other fans, some booze, some hookers, plenty of blow, and a lot of wholesome foodie fun. See you over there. Ciao.
So I drew banana for scale.
Yeah.
I slightly interpreted it because I don't think that'll make an entertaining thing. So I've interpreted it as a banana. It's with a sign next to it that says for scale, but the C is very small. So it's basically a banana sort of for sale.
What makes
we'll
it?
put that on Instagram or something.
What makes it for sale other than the sign? Anything?
Just it's.
I'm an
price.
idiot. I just reached in to try to do like the Zoom thing on on my own computer, and I just realized it doesn't work that way. Is that banana circumcised? Because it kind of looks circumcised at the end there.
I envision
The Jewish
it-
banana.
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid question. I think my question is, why does it have
Is
one
that-
human leg and one banana leg?
So actually, the human leg is just in that's artistic choice. That's in shadow, so you
Yeah.
can't see the.
Shadow, that famous white shadow, that very
Now, this-
light.
MJ, this is going to be posted, correct? So like people have context for
Nope.
like what we're talking
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
about. How would you describe the expression on the banana's face?
Dismay that he's for sale, or her, could be a woman. Probably not. It's got a penis. But
I like that. Maybe it's an FTM banana,
Well,
female to
hey,
male. Who knows?
well.
post.
maybe we are
Open
inclusive
here.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
Any genders are welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
absolutely.
genders of bananas, but
Yeah.
also other.
So yeah, it's slightly worse than the drawing from last week, I'd say, or last 2 weeks.
What
ago.
was last time?
I
Not
can't
the last.
remember. It
Not the
wasn't
last
out.
time. That was Halloween, but the time before that.
I can't remember now. It was a good one though.
So are these listeners submitted like prompts?
Yes.
Basically, MJ often, not necessarily every episode, but often just starts doodling and ends up showing us some very weird thing that realistically is only intended for us. And as Stuart has always pointed out, pictures are very useful in an audio format.
Yeah, sure.
So we sort of jokingly said about doing a section of MJ draws, and then we just decided off air, why not focus on that a little bit more and take suggestions. Here we go.
I drew a taco that time.
What a phrase! Oh look, I drew a taco that time.
This is actually my workbook as well. Last time I showed off my Venom, and they were mocking it because I made it.
That was actually the last one, wasn't it? Wasn't that the Venom
I
last
think
one?
so, yeah, Venom.
For the
They were
Man Be Fat
mocking it
guys.
because I made the arse too sexy.
What ass?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I've just noticed he's doing that as well. The old internet meme.
White power.
No, not White Power.
No, not so. Oh, and there's the
Oh
picture
god,
of.
we've got that in clan on this one episode.
Describe this one again.
So that was from Dyson Decider.
Yeah.
Decider. So I can't remember the full context of the conversation, but I was discussing that mid-sex that I would have a hat. You know, like you get the hats that
That's
have the
it.
cans in.
So mid blowjob, wasn't it?
No. It was during sex so that I would be able to rehydrate and hydrate by having that whilst I'm having sex. and MJ drew it as what Laura sees, essentially.
I have not felt more empathy for women more in my life than right now. That's a horrific fucking image. That's a horrific image. I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a horrific image. But then you added that context. I'm gonna go hug my daughter after this.
Just think.
Yeah, just very much the sort of void of emotion look that's on the face that is nice, captured well.
And just think, if that actually happened, that would come with sounds as well. Like they get to the point where I sort of got to the end of the drink, and it's just like, yeah.
As if you'd get to the end of the drink.
There should be a stopwatch next to that.
Oh, fucking nice one. 200 mil as well.
Do you know what? I could reply, but I shan't.
It's classy.
I'm nothing if not classy, Alex. I think you should know that 5 years down the road. Yeah.
I know. I've been saying that since February. It's classy.
But not before. Thank you very much for. I think that's pretty much everything we got. MJ, I'm going to ask it in the awkward way because I didn't ask you to do it earlier. Patreon, anything? Nah, probably not.
No new ones this week, but we're very much open for business.
We haven't had to close as a non-essential service.
Yeah, some good content coming up this month, actually.
Yeah, you'll get two TV dinners in the space of a week, probably. Which would be nice. But yeah, please do head on over to patreon.com/Food Review UK and give what you can. Times are tough, and we deserve your money more than you do.
That's right.
Yeah, because MJ's got all that ice cream to throw out.
Yeah, the ice cream ain't gonna discard itself, is it?
Exactly. Exactly. But that's all we got then. Alex, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to finally get you back on these waves. You are always invited.
Oh, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you guys again. It's one of my favorite podcasts to do outside my own. And I always have so much fun talking to you guys. I wish this was another 2 hours.
Do you?
No. I guess you
Where can people find you? Not on Facebook, I know that. Where can find? Tell us more about this other podcast that you do, and sort of the name of it, and also maybe a web address or a search term that they could use on a podcast.
No, absolutely. App. The website is bingemedia.net. You can get us on all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. People can call in and leave us a voicemail. We do a voicemail section. That number is 708-406-9546.
Don't forget, if you're in the UK, to add the +1.
Add the +1. Patreon.com/binge media. As you said, give us all your money. We are an essential service. We provide content for all those people who are looking to teach their daughter the word cunt. And I think that's about it.
Good. Yeah. Please do. Please listen. All joking aside, you are a tremendous podcast network, and there is, if anyone listening is into basically anything entertainment wise, realistically, movies, TVs, TVs, brilliant. Not even TV shows.
Multiple TVs.
Bit of music, bit of just chatter. Books. You guys cover a lot of bases these days, and a lot of content on a weekly basis.
A lot of content. Our flagship is the Bingecast, which comes out every Monday. You get the show early on Patreon. You can sign up and give us whatever you want, and you get the show 24 hours earlier. And that's like I said, that's one of my favorite things to do. We're doing commentaries for the TV show Fargo right now. More commentaries in the future. And, as a Chicagoan, I would be remiss when it comes to combinations to bring up the Chicago combo, which, Nathan, I believe you've had, which is an Italian beef with an Italian sausage inside of it. That's the classic Chicago combo.
Did I have the sausage? I thought it was
I think so. Maybe not.
I don't think I had
a lot of food here.
Yeah, I don't think I had the sausage, but I definitely had the Italian beef, which was very damn tasty.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I think sometimes what you do is the first time you don't give them the sausage, so that then they've got to come back for more.
Come back for the sausage. And if anyone is brilliant, Detroit pizza. I don't know why he's
racist.
Yeah,
it's not the same, Michael.
Detroit pizza. Yes.
Yeah, having that next Wednesday.
Literally different state.
It's a square pizza. It's more of a square pizza.
Close. It's close, right? Michigan's
Detroit?
close to...
Detroit's like 5 hours away, so it's next door, basically.
Yeah.
That's Jim Law. That's law country.
Yeah. Yep. It was right across the bridge.
No. If anyone wants to dip into binge media and doesn't know where to start, right at the beginning probably is the right thing to do and listen to all of them. But earlier this year, the guys did a series of tournaments of best films from essentially each decade. There was one which was a bit more general than that, and you've recently done horror as well for the Halloween period. I would heartily recommend those because they are good introductions.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our stuff is week to week. It's whatever the new releases are, whatever we watch during the week. But those horror tournaments or the tournament shows have just kind of been one off. They're they kind of stand on their own. So you can go to whatever podcast platform, just search bracket, and all those should pop up.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you very much, Alex.
Oh, thank you guys.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
Thank MJ and Stuart.
Wow,
thank you for also being a part of this show. Where can they find you? I'm going to ask you that for once.
Me?
Yeah, go on. Shout out some
in
stuff.
Manchester.
Yeah, Aylesbury, Bucks.
Yeah.
No other channels or anything you want to promote?
Yes. My new YouTube channel, Dweezil Van Zafir. Just work out how to spell it yourself.
Yeah.
Alex, can you have a guess? How would you spell?
That reminds me, actually. I don't think I've put it on the.
How would you spell Dweezil Van Zafir?
DWEEZIL.
Correct.
VAN.
Yeah.
Fuzzle.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much there.
Yeah.
FVZSLE. I don't know.
So close, but you said Z instead of Z. Yeah. So that's it. That's our show. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with a show that I've not yet planned. Hope you enjoyed this show and the show that we're about to record, which you would have heard 2 weeks ago, which will be Warren on Halloween. But that's what we're going to be recording. But we've already heard it last time round. Goodbye.
Bye. Sweet.
Michael, do you want to say goodbye? Or?
Yeah.
Michael, can you say goodbye, please?
Oh, sorry, you want me to say it out? Yeah. Goodbye.
Did I have the sausage?